Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Sports Live on Shelbyville Now. Today we have a very special guest, two guests actually from the community high school. We've got Coach Chris Grooms and we got Coach Ely with him. Glad to have you guys with us today. We will be diving into community football here in just a few minutes. But first, I want to introduce Mr. Kenny Parker and Mr. Bill Anderson. Good to have you guys sitting back here today. We're ready to kick into gear here with football season.
Bill said his shirt was white till he put it on and it started glowing.
Did it? Okay.
This is Coach Young's design right here. And I want to thank Deborah Nelson and Roxy Black and Blue for hooking us up here with some visors and some shirts.
But our sponsor for today's show is First Bank of Shelbyville. Mr. Brent Kennedy down here at First Bank was gracious enough to step up and sponsor, and along with Hernandez Tree Services. If you have any issues with trees, I know there's been a lot of storms coming through the past couple of weeks.
A lot of storms.
People have tree damage. If you want to get those things shaped up, call Rocky at Hernandez Tree Service.
And actually, I had some people telling me that they used them this last storm, and the price was reasonable. They're reasonable. It's not $1,200 for a tree or some of the other things I've heard.
And if you got a stump in the ground sticking up where a tree,
they had a grinder.
They got a grinder.
They take it all the way down, right?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. So call Rocky at Hernandez Tree Services. We will have his number up on the screen later today on this broadcast. But Coach, let's jump into community football. How have things gone preseason? When did y'all get started? How has the summer workouts been leading into the season now?
We got started shortly after Memorial Day weekend. We got them all in. We started working on our 7-on-7. Young team was in. We had 35 in attendance majority of the time. We got them ready. I think our first 7-on-7, me and Coach Edie took them to Ravenwood. Didn't fan very well over there because we were so young, a bunch of freshmen, sophomore, and we was going against everybody's varsity. So, it was a culture shock for my little kids to see the grown men running around with beards out there and they're trying to guard them.
Right?
Yeah.
I said, but after that, we went on dead period and we came back. We went to Lebanon.
Yeah.
And we went up there. We fared a little bit better. We fixed our defense. We started getting some stops, created some turnovers, got a little excitement. I think we won 2 games up there, and then we went and played at Riverdale 7-on-7, and we got to see everybody. We played with a lot of them. We ended up tying Blackman at the end, so they was kind of excited about that. I don't think Coach Kreisky had all his boys out there playing at the time, but either way it goes, the kids didn't know it. They had fun.
Yeah.
And
after they do now.
They know now.
It's all good.
That's right.
Maybe he had his people. It don't matter. But after that, we went in the pads, got our pads going, started getting them geared up for our first scrimmage at Columbia Academy. We went over there. We played them, Spring Hill, and Cornersville.
Coach, offensively, what's the scheme that y'all try to run out there?
Well, we typically try to run an air raid scheme, 5 wide, go as fast as we can.
Oh, wow.
But when you're young, you slow it down because you can't run that so much. So it'll look a lot different this year, even though hopefully we might get to it.
They told me, this is the word I heard, that you're probably not going to have a whole lot of trouble replacing the quarterback that you had last year. Elaborate on that, young man.
Oh, well, I've got a couple of them.
That was his son. Last year. Did a great job.
Yeah, Dallas took off. He went to Swanee, so I lost him. I've got 2 young quarterbacks coming in. I had a sophomore, Drake Brown, he was with me last year, and then I got a freshman, Niles Barnett, coming in. Great kids, but we also got Mekhi Fleming, who's one of the better athletes in the state of Tennessee. He's been a Mr. Football runner for 2 years. I said, so we've got packages where he gets the quarterback some too, while I train my young quarterbacks and kind of get their feet wet.
Coach, talk about your staff. I know you got Coach Edie. What to start with him? What's your responsibility, Coach?
A little bit of do it all. I've been coaching the offensive and the defensive line. Kind of went back with him this time. We're gonna run this offense together. Still running the offensive line, but incorporating the backfield is
Gotcha.
a little different for me.
Yeah, I got Coach Edie. He's going to manage a whole lot of he's going to be OCing for me. I'm going to try to step back because we're kind of shorter athletic trainer. So I'm, as injuries come in, I might be pulled away, might not be able to call. So I've got Coach Edie calling the offense. I've got Coach Boland calling the defense. And we brought Coach Mark Neal in. He's coming over to help the special teams.
Good.
So that's pretty much our staff right now.
Hit us up on the defense. What do y'all like to do on defense, scheme-wise?
We like to run a 3-4.
Like everybody's gone to that, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still trying to incorporate our old 4-4 and get it back because we like some blitz packages out of it.
Right.
I said, but it's all how quick the young kids can pick it up. You got to play one defense correct before you can play two.
Correct.
I said,
whatever they're bringing, we're trying to match the defense up to it.
Yeah.
So we're running a little bit of everything.
Numbers wise, right now, how many of y'all got out?
34.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we got 34, 7 senior and junior, and the rest are all sophomore and freshman. So the future looks bright.
You got a big freshman class?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Freshman and sophomore.
Good.
27 of his 34.
Seems like
sophomore.
county-wide, this freshman sophomore class seems to be pretty good, isn't it? Just whole county, that's pretty good for athletes.
Yeah.
Well, I think if the future is bright for all the programs with that youth coming up. Coach, can you start with the defensive backfield and talk about some of the positions there, who you've got filling those spots?
Okay.
So we can get some names.
Yeah.
Well, my DBs, I've got Charles Haskins. He's a freshman. He's playing corner. Like I said, being a freshman, he's out there. He's learning. Good, solid tackler.
Yeah.
I enjoy him. He knows how to break down his coverage skills. What a freshman needs to be. He's getting there. Then I've got DJ High over there playing the other corner. Davion High, he goes by DJ. He's a sophomore. So we're young at our corners. I said, but then you get into our safeties. We've got Mekhi Fleming, who's a senior. I've got Wilson Richmond, who's a junior. They both played it last year. And then we're training a sophomore who was my corner last year, Braxton Landers. We got him coming in. He likes to hit a little bit, play downhill. So we're trying to get him in. But we know we got to have Wilson ready because Mekhi going both ways. He gets a little tired sometimes. You got to be able to rest him.
Well, I can hit a little bit is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. From the defensive back.
Got to hit, play ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up into the linebacker spot, who you got there?
Linebackers, we got a 4-year starter, James Boland. We got him there. And then I think we're going with Jackson Stacy. He's a freshman linebacker. We also got another senior linebacker we throw, but we're trying to train that freshman up. So
okay, so having a senior sitting there at that key position and having a freshman next to him, how much influence sprinkling these younger kids in? We were talking before we started the broadcast about having these guys sprinkled around and the youth around them. How much of an impact do these seniors make on those freshmen and sophomores?
That's a lot. They help them out because basically where we played Jackson at linebacker, he's got Mekhi, who's a senior behind him. And then he's got James, a senior next to him. So they're able to talk to him and adjust and be the coaches on the field.
Right.
By the time the end of the season gets around, after, let's say halfway point, you're going to see a big difference in those freshmen and sophomores when they're out there on that field and they start emulating what these seniors are doing. How much of an impact?
That's the way his schedule is lined up. I mean, his first half of his season is preseason.
Yeah.
And then you get he referred to it earlier with us as a playoff push.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about your defensive line now.
Hey, D-line's the strength. I'm just letting you know, we was adjusting. We made some moves. We didn't look very great. We didn't look great and when we went to CA, but they had some big boys. CA's got a good offensive line, good size. So we struggled a little bit. We was missing a couple D linemen. We got them back in that next scrimmage versus Huntland and PCA. And our D-line was solid. I mean, it was nice. Your D-ends, because it's a 3-4. You can call them outside linebackers. I call them D-ends, old school 52 monster, who I am. So I said our D-ends, you got Isaac Jacobs. And then we go with Seven Gardman, and we got, which is a sophomore. And then you've got Aaron Graff, who's a freshman. We're trying to train up that other side. Then your D tackles, I got a junior, Austin Stickler. And then you got another D tackle, Reed Wallace, who's a senior. And there's some pretty good sized boys. And then our nose guard, which is Daniel Walters. Yeah, he's a sophomore, and he's a low.
What size is he?
He's not very tall, but he's wide.
Low
Just
to
like
the ground.
You know, the ground. That's
Low
what you want
center
to
of gravity.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's now flip to the offense. Just flip over to the offensive line.
Okay.
You got some of these same guys coming over to play there.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. We'll just hit with the O-line. We've got Evan Jeans, who's a sophomore at right tackle. You have Reed Wallace playing right guard, who's a senior again. Daniel Walters, your nose guard, is now playing center.
All right.
Your left guard, we've got Ethan Enon, who's a senior. We got him over there playing left guard. And left tackle is Austin Stickler, who was playing that D tackle position. I said, and I'll be honest, I think that's the key to us. They've been there for so long. They've understand the blocking scheme. They know what's happening. So, I mean, it's pretty nice having them.
Yeah, a lot of these guys been around, and we're able to bring in some of these young guys on the offensive line. We usually use them, most of them in the interior to begin with, see what they can do. Then kind of work them out. But hey, a lot of them are stepping up.
Good.
That's good. That's good. All right, now let's talk about your receivers.
All right. We got our wide receivers. They're wide receivers / tight ends. That's how we use them, because we'll jump from 5 wide all the way to a single wing, back to a full house. We will get to any package we feel like, but we're running the same place. It's all what's hitting that night. So our wide receivers, you got a senior, Owen Cole, is the first year playing. We love him at tight end. He came in, took coaching very well. Good sized kid. He's probably about 6'2", I'd say. Yeah. He's about 6'2", about 210. I said, so he's good size tight end. And then the other side, we use 2 of them. We use Lewis Butler, who's a sophomore, and we use Wilson Richmond again, who is on the other side of the ball.
Right.
We use him as the wide receivers. Then we'll get to our skill guys, our slot guys. We've got roughly about 4 of them that we like to rotate, but the ones we're fond on right now is sophomore Isaac Jacobs, who was playing DN. He plays slot, and then little Charles Haskins, he's a freshman. He plays slot for me too. Which he was playing corner. So we always got to have an extra one to sub so we can go. Then you get to our backfield. We got Mackay, that quarterback, running back, wide receiver slot. It's wherever we line them up at. Everybody knows we got them. So you got to see if you can philosophy. But we use Mackay a lot at quarterback.
How fast is he? Is he pretty quick?
He ran a 4.5.
Nice.
Over there in the combine. So.
Nice.
He's can play and start for any offense or defense in this county.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. He would start on offense or defense for any of the teams in this county. He's a player.
Where will he make the most impact for your team?
You just got to get the ball in his
on
hand.
the field.
On the field.
You got to get the ball in his hand.
I mean, is this something that you would put him at quarterback and
Yes.
let him run from that and just have the ball in his hands and let him go?
Yes, sir. We do a little bit of that, and then we'll put them at running back, let them do running back. We try to match them up one-on-one. If they leave them solo, we'll take shots with them.
Oh, yeah.
We like doing that.
Who's recruiting him?
You've got Memphis called, Austin Peay's called, Ball State, and Liberty. Those are the 4 that's been in the building talking to him, wanting to see him.
I knew he ought to be getting some looks.
Yeah. Well, we're anxious to see
He
how it
impressed
plays
me
out.
last year until he got hurt.
So y'all go to Lewis County to start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we were talking before, Lewis County's always, they look the same every year. It seems like the same kids just keep coming back
yes,
or something.
Yes,
Yeah. You go down to Lewis County, you play with half the lights and dark shirts and dark balls with no stripes.
I know.
We were playing the wing tee, so
Yep.
find the ball.
Yep.
That's how it is. They're still just like how Bobby Sharp got them raised. He might have left, went to Columbia Central, but the team still looks the same.
Yep.
Every year. There's several teams that do that. I mean, like Page. I
Yes.
see them 10 years ago. They came out here and scrimmaged Central. They look the same. They look like the same players.
Yes, sir.
Just that same program.
But they ain't still wearing the same uniform because
No,
they got
they're
about
not.
14 variations.
Exactly.
Wayne County
Yeah.
wearing the same jerseys they wore 12 years
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
because the numbers are gone and they're darker. And I don't think they've replaced the lights either.
No, probably not.
as you go into the season, Coach, we were talking about this freshman and sophomore stepping up. By the time you get to game 5, I'd love to have you come back and sit down and just talk about the difference in your team and how they have matured, because it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch these kids come in kind of halfway scared, and then they start getting confidence, and these freshmen and sophomores, they're going to start looking like they're ready to go probably later on.
Who did you say you opened the season at Lewis County?
Yes, sir.
And then you're playing, what's your next group before your playoff push?
Next group, that's our old-time rivalries we always had. We go to Eagleville.
All right, so Eagles week 2, our second game.
Forest comes to us week 3.
Forest.
Bad thing is during the horse show break, so we might be missing a kid or two.
Right.
Because they take off for vacation.
We're going to take a quick break here.
Sure.
But when we talk about, we're going to come back and talk about horse show break. Okay, and how it affects football teams and how it affects our school system too. We'll come back right after this word from one of our sponsors. All right, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Live. We've got Coach Chris Grooms, Coach Edie from Community High School this morning. And just as we were going away on commercial break, I threw out the fact about the horse show. All right, you guys got schools, the schedule. It's just everybody's starting to get used to things.
Yes.
And then here in a couple of weeks, we're going to take a break. All right, and off for a week. How does that affect your football team or any football team for that matter? I guess you can speak for the whole county.
Yes.
As coaches, what do you have to adjust and what do you have to deal with in that process?
Years past, we try to schedule our bye week in week 3, or whenever it is, whenever the horse show falls. It's kind of hard sometimes because when they used to draw the districts, that was always a district game. So you'd have to coordinate with the coach that had you for that week, see if he could do a bye. And it always happened that the week you wanted to change for was his bye week, his fall break. I said, so we'd kind of end up going back and forth. I said, so we've had to play, I think, on horse show probably about 4 times, 4 weeks where we had games. We've had everybody show up and be there for like 2 weeks. And then we also rode in with 17 people in Lewis County to play a football game on Friday night.
Okay, that speaks to these families taking vacations and tied up in other ways. So how do y'all work your practices around not having school?
Well, we typically kind of leave it to the kids because we'll get them together and go, hey, do y'all want to go in the mornings and everybody be here? We want to go in the afternoons. And most of them will pick the morning shift.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we'll jump out there in the morning.
Get out of there.
It's
cooler. Get it done. It's cooler.
Here's the thing about the morning shift. Yeah, it's cooler, but it's wet.
Everything
gets wet.
Right. Yeah, you
balls, clothes, equipment, everything.
The dew sweepers.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are y'all gonna do this year?
This year we're gonna roll in. Like I said, we've got Eagleville. That's the first day they got off out of school. So we'll go to Eagleville play, and then we got to get ready for Forest coming in. So we're going to get up in the morning and get ready for football, same way we always do. Okay. Good news is Forest is kind of like Lewis County. They ain't changed a lot.
How many Thursday night games did you get this year?
Well, we're supposed to have Eagleville Thursday, but they moved it.
I saw that.
So we ended up with only one Thursday night.
That's your last game of the season.
Last game of the year.
Yeah.
I said, I like Thursday night games, to be honest. I said, but our middle school plays on Thursday. So it's kind of hard, if they're playing, we're only using one field over at where we're at. So you kind of got to work around it.
Coach, speaking of your middle school, what kind of relationship you got over there? I always ask this question because I think a big thing is having that middle school doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And it translating up to the high school level. How's that going at the middle school level?
It's going great.
Good.
We actually went up there and watched the play up in Eagleville Thursday. Me and Coach Edie was there watching them. And they're running a lot of our stuff out there. They jumped in a single wing a couple times. And I thought that was funny because A lot of people forget old school football.
But you got a new middle school coach this year.
Yeah, new middle school coach. We got Billy Barnett up there. We got him running offense. He's head coach running offense. Greg Conway, right?
Greg Conway, yeah.
Conway, he's running the defense, and he's got a couple other coaches. I don't know everybody's name. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I know the faces.
They got pretty good. Yeah, they got pretty good numbers out from middle school.
About 35, 40.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
That's a good
That's
group.
good.
Yeah. I think all the middle schools have got good numbers.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think I know Central's got what, 45 maybe?
Yeah, I think
in
so.
that range. And Harris. Yeah. And then you got
Well, that
Cascade's
tailback
got a
up the
pretty
other
good.
night, didn't he?
Yeah,
6 carries, 177 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I mean, you got a lot of good talent coming up for all the programs,
Yes.
and that's a good sign for football in Bedford County.
Another question. Let me ask
all
this question: how many of your players are playing basketball for Robbie Davis? Are a lot of your guys playing basketball, or is it pretty much football and then basketball?
They're playing football. We've got, let me see, I know Austin Stickler, Mekhi Fleming. They'll be out there starting on Robbie's basketball team. Haskins plays on it. I think Barnett plays on it some, but I don't know if he's going to be with them or he hops in and out. But I think that's about the only 4 I can name off the top of my head. But we get some of them. They'll go and play basketball with Robbie for 2 years, and then they decide they don't want to play basketball no more, and then they're my new wide receiver. You know, I said it is what it is. We work through it.
That's what we talked about with some other coaches. It is a good idea. As many sports as a lot of these kids can get into, it's a good thing.
It is.
Yes.
Keeps them active year round.
Yeah, we got our wrestling program, which Coach Boland, our DC, we got up and running over. We've pretty much it's built of our.
That'll help you.
Yeah, it's
That'll
built
help
of our linemen and everything.
I didn't know you had a wrestling program.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Wonder
awesome.
people did.
When did y'all start that?
2 years ago.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
so
wonderful.
Yep, that's
our
going to help.
tackling improved.
I bet it did.
It did. And I told him it would once you know.
Coach, do you help them with wrestling?
I'm not helping with wrestling, but I'm in and out to see it.
Gotcha.
I think it's a future thing. I think I'll come out and help Boop some.
Yeah.
And you over there looking to see, I might need him on the football team.
That's it.
Yeah.
We've been talking our football players into doing it.
Well,
Right.
that's good. That's good. I know any team,
Especially linemen. I mean, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
skill that's just a really good skill to have, wrestling.
You start to see the hands knowing where to go.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Let's say it coming back to.
Well, we've got a big season coming up. Perfect time and having you on here. We appreciate you guys showing up. We're fixing to change gears here,
Okay.
and I want y'all to jump into some talk with us about Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Are y'all Titans fans? Tennessee
Titans.
Titans. You can be excused.
We got a game at noon today.
Yeah. Before we do though, let's listen to this message from First Bank. We'll be right back. Well, we were going to talk about the Titans, but now we just decided we're going to talk about the NFL in general, and I'm sure we'll gravitate toward the Titans real quick.
Yes.
I don't think anybody here knows anything about the Titans.
All right, well, not a thing. But there's one man at the table that's even said Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to talk about them. Let's just start there.
There were 2 men at the table.
Who else? You are a Cowboys
Cowboys
fan
fan.
too? Both of y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, what's going to happen with your
My son's
Cowboys
name's
this year?
Dallas.
Well, that's true. So what do you expect out of the Cowboys this year?
Hey, we improved our defense.
Hey, it's gonna be solid.
Defense is solid. Our offense is, we're going to miss Zeke. I'm
Yeah.
going to miss him, but hey, Pollard, he's holding it down.
I don't think we really gonna miss him, but I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Best guy on that football team's Parsons.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's special.
Oh, he's under.
He's a difference maker.
Martin,
Yep.
the guard
Yeah.
that they have, I don't know if they've signed him back yet.
Well, he's under contract. I
But
sort of see the
he's-
owner's point here. He's giving him an
He's a
extension.
Man,
He's losing a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he ain't losing.
Mr.
nothing.
Jones
Here's-
gave him another contract. He's got years left. He needs to
Here's the
finish his
thing
contract.
about this money stuff, and they fining you $50,000 for not missing this practice and $50,000. But when they sign that new contract, oh, we're going to let all that go away.
Right.
All that going to go away. We ain't going to worry about that. We got you back on books.
It sounded like Mr. Jones wasn't interested in giving him a contract extension to me because he was talking about, well, people get hurt, they're gone. I mean, he made it pretty clear. I don't think he's going to give him no contract.
That has got to be the toughest division in the NFL, right?
It is
Oh,
right
I'd say
now. It
hands
is. Yeah.
With Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and the Giants, and the Red. Well, I
Well,
keep calling them
no,
Redskins.
no,
you
you
know,
bet-
that you know
You
that
better.
there's a
Washington.
petition. There's a petition
There is.
from
To bring it back.
yes,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
coming from the Indian Nation.
Yep.
Yes.
Sure is.
Well, they got Eric Bieniemy. They got the good OC over there, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
Well, you know,
over at
they're
Washington.
not happy with him
I know, but
because he's making them
old
work.
He makes
Oh
them
yeah,
work.
he's that old school football.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they just-
That's right.
And it sort of surprised me because I always thought Ron Rivera that way was
Yes,
kind of an old
But
school.
Ron's it's not bothering Ron. That's why he went and got him. It's the players, and then all Benjamin's got to do is say, "Hey, where'd I come from? Look what we did, where I come from." I mean,
Yeah.
Ron just got caught up in the media.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do that, didn't
Yeah. Yeah.
They
All
get
right.
twisted now.
All right. Can Dallas challenge the Eagles and be a contender in that division, or are they going to have to be a wild card?
Well, the Eagles lost. Who was it? They lost on the D line. Their centerpiece. They lost him. They got. I can't remember his
They're
name.
loaded.
They're loaded though.
Yeah.
All those
But
Georgia
they-
guys.
Hey, they're still
But we're
losing
loaded.
one. I said we're pretty good too.
Cowboys are loaded.
Can
I
they
don't
challenge?
disagree
So?
with you.
Can
Yes,
they
can they
challenge?
challenge?
Yeah, y'all gonna predict that they're gonna win that division?
Can they challenge? Can the Eagles challenge?
Oh, you're saying y'all at the top?
You
Oh,
say
yeah.
y'all the ones.
Okay.
I think this is a big year for Dak Prescott. He's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have to cut the interceptions.
Oh,
Are going to
yeah.
have to come down,
Oh yes.
and he's going to have to play better into that contract. I think than he's been playing.
But with the defense that we got,
Right.
I think that
Yeah.
really challenges it. You
I
got
think
Diggs
Brandon
back
Cooks is
there,
a sneaky good pickup for you all too.
Yeah,
Wide
yeah.
receiver Cooks is
Uh-huh.
going to help
but
Yeah,
got
because you got
Diggs
C.D. Lamb.
flying all over
He's the
field.
man.
He's getting better year by year.
Yes, I was
It
sort of
wasn't
surprised
great.
y'all didn't bring the tight end back.
Yeah.
I think he went to the Texans maybe because
Mhm.
he was a pretty good tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
y'all gonna miss
he
him.
is, but they had another solid one.
Other than Pollard, who's the other running back there now? Because Pollard's coming off injury.
That's that little
Yes.
short guy. What's his name?
The little guy, the guy they drafted,
Yeah. Where did he come from?
I can't remember.
Kansas State or
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Kansas State.
Kansas
Remember
The
State.
little
Vaughn.
guy?
Little
Yeah,
guy.
little-
Yeah.
yeah.
Vaughn.
Deuce.
Little Vaughn? Yeah,
Deuce
Deuce
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn. Yeah, man, he's good.
Oh,
he
yeah.
played.
Hey, all right, Kenny. What about your Packers? They played last night.
I thought they looked pretty good last night. The commentary's gonna say the Bengals didn't play many of their starters last night, but they played them during practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, and the Packers more than held their own with
See, he
them.
almost said
Yeah.
I
Titans.
almost
They
said
almost
Titans.
did, yeah.
Almost did.
But I think there's going to be they're playing their defense is going to be for real this year. Their defense is going to be for real. If they stay hurt, if they keep from being hurt, they get Gary back. This new #1 draft pick that you didn't like, you're going to see him sprinkled in. And Love is not going to make people forget Aaron Rodgers. But Love is starting out at the same place Aaron Rodgers did when he took over for Brett Favre.
Yeah.
People didn't like him. He can't do. Just give him time. He's learned for 4 years. The chemistry there is great. They're receiving young. Their receivers are young. Their tight ends are young. Their offensive line's experienced. Their running backs are experienced. I think
Christian Watson's going to be a star.
Christian Watson's not going to be the only star.
No, I think Dobbs has got a shot to be
Dobbs is
pretty
not-
good.
And the young man they got out of Michigan State, number 11, I think his name's Reed,
Yes.
and and the two tight ends were pretty good last night.
Yeah, I want to break in right here. We have somebody from the
Oh.
Unionville community
Oh,
wanting
good.
to self-promote here, I think.
All right.
Dan Reed.
Oh, my man,
Okay,
Dan. All
right,
right, brother
okay.
Dan.
He says Coach Grooms has the best chain gang in the county. So I'm assuming he's on that. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He
all right.
said,
And then-
is that the chain gang when they're on the road or when they're at home?
I don't know. He's just bringing that up, but then he ends Go Vikings.
There you go.
All right.
He's a man.
So he's a Viking
He
through and
always,
through.
he always had play requests.
Yep.
Does
He
he wants you to run a certain play?
Yeah.
I
Always
understand.
has a
I
play
understand. He has a flashlight over there, and he turns it off and on so many times. And y'all got this Morse code thing that he's telling you what
Oh,
they're
yeah,
going to do.
okay.
That don't happen to Cascade.
You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about that division. I feel like that division
It's
is
tough.
a sleeper this year
It's tough.
because you got the Vikings, you got Green Bay coming on, the Bears.
They're
There's
gonna be
good,
better.
some,
They're gonna be better.
good
They're
some
gonna be better.
and then Detroit
It's going to be better.
is going to be
Yes.
better. And you put all that together, that could be a tough division
That's
when
gonna be a tough
the
division.
season gets cranking.
I'm gonna
So
tell
you
you,
watch that division for the
That's going to be
sleeper.
a tough. That's going to be
Yeah.
a tough division.
Yeah, it is. All right, so let's change gears now. Let's talk a little Titans.
12 o'clock
12:00
today.
got us a
Who's starting?
preseason,
Malik Willis.
and we're playing Chicago.
And Fields
them.
is going to start
Oh,
for
yeah.
Chicago. I think you're going to see a lot more of the Chicago play more of their starters than the Titans necessarily do.
Yeah.
But I do
And
think you're
I'm
going to see
gonna tell
Malik
you-
Willis first. Malik's improved.
You're saying that? If you watch many of the NFL games yesterday and ones today, more coaches are playing starters.
Yeah, they
a
are.
little, not a whole lot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a little more, and they need to. The Packers set their starters all 3 preseason games last year, and it took them 2 games to get
Same
going.
thing with the Titans last
Yeah.
2 years. You didn't play
You
your starters.
got
You come
to
out week
play
1
some
and
of them.
you're flat.
Yeah.
You look
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
Seahawks played Drew Lock, the number 2 quarterback that's challenging Geno Smith. They played him all into the third quarter.
Yeah.
So you got a solid number 2 quarterback right there challenging for number 1. He got a lot of snaps in that
Mhm.
game. So
Yeah.
you're starting to see this is the first preseason game for them. Usually you don't see the number 2 quarterback. You'll
And-
have that 3 out there.
This is different for the Titans this year, unlike the ones in the past. I hadn't been keeping up with them as much here lately as I did, but the big thing in NFL now is 2 teams getting together for a 2 days of practice and then playing. Are the Titans doing that much? I know they're going to
They're
bring
going to with Minnesota coming up. They didn't.
Okay.
I don't think they did with the Bears.
I know the Packers did last week with Cincinnati, and this coming week, New England, the Patriots are coming to Green Bay, and they're going to practice a couple of days before they play next week.
Let me ask Bill this. He's a Titans insider. Is that what you would call yourself, Titans insider?
I know a couple people.
Inside or
I know a few
outside?
people up there, man.
All right. So they released or they fired their vice president of the whole organization. He was the financial guy. They fired him yesterday and replaced him. How does that have an impact on the team at all? I don't think it does. Really,
No, I
does
don't.
it?
I don't either. I think this
That's
also,
way up in the office, but
And you'll see those kind of people walk around the practice field or walk around
Right.
on the sidelines every now and then.
yeah.
But most of the like this guy here, he may walk around the sidelines during pregame, but he's got a suit and tie on. He's going upstairs. Now the GM, that's a different story.
Yeah,
That's a total
he's
different story.
out there.
where I'm anxious to see is I think you've made a big upgrade at offensive coordinator. In my opinion, we had the worst one in the National Football League last year. This is why I think you'll see Malik Willis look better. You're going to see him look a lot better because I think
I said it last year. I'll say it this year. Until that offensive line gets better,
that's right.
they're not going to. Now they've added a few weapons. They got Hopkins in, and that's going to make their offense some better. But if that offensive line is not better, and it doesn't become a strength of their defensive line, the linebackers, I think they're going to be good.
It's going to be a
I
top
think
10,
it-
top 5 defense.
I think their defense is going to be good, but it's that interior offensive line that they got to sure up.
Y'all are awful quiet over
We listening, but who did you replace Taylor Lewan with?
The Dillard kid from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
And then
think
you had the draft pick. They're putting him at guard. I
There-
still
he's
think
he's
that
a guard, but they're still, the guy that they.
what hurts is
Hey,
losing your
here-
right tackle to the gambling thing.
I-
It wasn't even football.
Yeah,
Right.
and here's the thing, Coach Edie. You said Lewan. He hasn't been good for the last
really
3
hasn't.
years.
you wouldn't say that now? Because when he was solid,
Oh, when he was solid. Hey, here's
he
the
was
deal.
solid. Because
When
he-
he was
he
solid
had a
and
lot
they
of-
gave him that money, then he became soft.
yeah, but he had a lot of injuries.
I do. I agree.
And when he come
And
back
that
off
vegan
those
diet,
injuries,
I think, had a lot to do with it. There was a whole bunch of these
Hey,
Titans that
a
got on
lot
this
of them's
vegan
on
diet.
that
No, they were
vegan
talking about
diet.
how LaJuan lost his legs because of it.
You got to eat cows, man.
but when he wasn't in, you saw a difference.
Yeah.
You saw a big difference when he wasn't in.
Now,
I'm gonna tell you when he didn't play, and they had the young kid that came from, I want to say it was North Dakota State,
Radens, Dylan Radens.
and he played that left tackle that very first game when the one
San
wasn't
Francisco,
there,
I believe it was,
and
on
they
Thursday night.
and they played, and he was going against Bosa.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was handling Bosa.
Yep.
Did you see what San Francisco did? Moved Bosa to the other side because he couldn't be. I still like that guy, but
Yeah.
he's not.
Physically unable to perform
All right,
due
He's
to the
not
ACL
able
so
to play.
far.
But that
He'll be
offensive
back
line's
this year.
got to be better.
All right, who starts the season at QB2?
And
That's
I
the
think
question.
They're
I think it's to be
Get a lot
determined.
of
Let's see how they
people
play in the preseason. I think it could be either one of them. I mean, we'll
What's
just have to see who's going to be the number 2 going into the season. I think it depends on his preseason games.
ain't no doubt right now. I'll tell you that.
Who?
The kid from Kentucky.
What, Levis?
We'll see how
Yeah,
they play.
think?
He'll
Right.
be, here's Parkerism.
Parkerism.
All right.
Get ready.
He's a high draft pick.
Yeah.
If he goes to the practice squad, anybody in the league can sign him.
New
They
league
go-
rule, you can keep 3 quarterbacks now. That's the new, and I'm telling you, that's smart to do.
yeah.
Look
Yeah.
what happened to San Francisco. They went
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
Right.
look what happened to you, coach. You lost
Yeah,
2 in one night.
exactly.
I mean,
But
Had a wide receiver
so
over there.
this is something. New league rule: they can take 3 per game, or
you can
or
have
a
3.
backup and one on the practice squad.
You can keep 3. You can also keep 3, an emergency one on your 53 man, is my understanding. You go in with the 2,
That's something.
but you
that
have
needs to
and it's
be
a
looked
brand new
into.
rule we got.
It's
And it's all about what happened to San Francisco
Yeah.
last year.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because that was horrible.
Sure, it was.
And that's why they changed the rule.
And that's.
No,
if
we may
they-
not
if they
keep 3.
did
I think
that-
we're going to keep 3.
All right.
okay.
So
And no practice squad quarterback.
I don't see if you with the new rule, you
Okay.
sort of got it and sort of know you got the best of both worlds.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yes, Malik could go to the practice squad a lot easier than
Well, we're getting to see him start today.
Yeah. Right.
He starts.
And I think he's going to be better.
yes.
I do.
Oh
think
yeah, there's
he's
no
gonna be
question. I
better.
think he surprised a lot of people, putting a lot of hard work, and
I
he's a
do
different player.
too. And his
Well, that's
body
where he
set-
came from.
And hey, year 1, year 2, hey, he came from.
Liberty.
Give me that ball back here. Signaling and signs in and everywhere. He
He
didn't
said
get
he
in
never
a-
called a play at Liberty.
Never got in a
Never
huddle to
called
call
a play.
Yeah.
They said everybody got their sign. Receivers getting a sign. Lines getting a sign. Quarterbacks getting a sign. No communication. No hands under the center.
Yeah.
And
Completely.
the game's faster. You know,
Now
one
let's
of-
remember this about him. He was a 4. Some people had him a 5-star recruit. Went to Auburn,
Yeah.
and the only reason he didn't play there was the Knicks thing and the daddy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the big scandal
Yeah,
that
yeah,
caused
yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
He would have been the quarterback at Auburn.
All right. So, do you think the Titans are going to be able to win the South
Yes,
this year?
Yes.
yes.
So who are they
yes.
going to have to beat? The Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
They're
And
It's
we
them
nearly
too.
beat them in a playoff game with a bad call
It's them too.
just
Yeah.
them two.
with a
Yeah,
guy
the
that hadn't
others
been
are
there
gone.
for 7 days. Quarterback.
Okay. All right.
I don't
So,
think, I don't think
See,
the Colts.
Houston or the Colts.
all right, guys, we need to wrap up the show, but I want y'all to tell me who you think the best quarterback in the league is coming into this year.
That's easy. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until
Patrick.
Yeah.
There's Patrick and
Because
everybody
somebody
else.
shows them.
Okay, let's exclude him. Who's next?
I like Burris.
Burrows.
Burrow.
Cincinnati's quarterback.
I like Joe Burrow too. I also like Allen. I think Josh
Oh,
Allen's
yeah.
pretty
I
good.
think
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen. But
I
I'm gonna
like,
tell you right
Justin
now,
Herbert.
the
Justin
one,
Herbert.
the one that hurts the defenses, makes the defenses so hard, is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
saw what he did to Kansas City. Because when you got that running quarterback,
Yeah.
you know all about
Oh
it.
yeah.
When you got the running quarterback, they ain't got a free person over there that can play spy or whatever. They
Yeah.
got to play them all.
Yeah.
And then when he rolls to throw, your DBs have got to stay in coverage. And then when somebody don't, he gets out there in open space. What do you want? What do you want your dude? You like him in open space?
Oh yeah, take him
Exactly.
in
I think it's
there.
going to be interesting to watch Lamar Jackson this year with the coordinator from Georgia coming over. And now they've
Yeah.
given him Odell Beckham. They've gotten the Flowers kid from BC, who I really like. And you've got Bateman coming. He's got weapons now.
Yes.
And now I think offensively, you're going to see them. I think you're going to see a better Lamar Jackson. I've got a feeling.
Well,
But I
And
think
You
he got
talk
his
about
money.
a tough division. Let's talk about look at that division. Because I think the Browns are going to be a lot better with Deshaun Watson.
I
Hadn't
think
set
the
out the
Browns
year.
can play.
Cincinnati's tough.
Yeah.
Then you got Pittsburgh, who's always well coached, and you got Baltimore. That's another tough division.
Okay.
Probably the
so
weakest division is the Titans.
David Parker says Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen.
Hey,
I love
Josh Allen better be good because you want to talk about a division. That's the toughest division in the
probably
NFL
so.
right now, with
The
Buffalo,
Jets and-
the Jets,
And the
the
Dolphins.
Dolphins, and
They're fairly
and
even.
who's
right
the
there.
last
Yeah.
one we're going to
Except
say?
Buffalo.
The
Patriots.
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 Can you believe you're
I know
saying
it.
Bill Belichick at the end? Don't let him fool you.
I know. Guys, it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year watching our county teams play. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun watching
We
how
love
y'all
to have you guys
progress.
back
Yeah,
right
we-
mid-season,
anytime
somewhere
you
right
need
around the
to come
Cascade
back.
game or something.
I look forward to see how these freshmen and sophomores
Now,
step up throughout the year.
before we leave, elaborate about next week's live show.
Next week's live show could possibly be on Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
We're not sure yet. We got some scheduling issues, but we will post it on Facebook, and we'll probably be doing it on Sunday afternoon. There's a lot of stuff going on.
And
Um,
next week is week one opening night football. And,
Right, absolutely. And that-
Shelbyville's playing on Thursday night at Shelbyville. Cascade's
Cascade.
at Friday night at Cascade against Moore County.
and you
Shelbyville's
got
against
Lewis
Siegel.
County
And you guys are going to Lewis County.
and Webb. I
And
don't
Webb
know.
is going to Cornersville.
Cornersville. That's right. So
We
we got
all four. I've got 3 teams on Friday night and 1 on Thursday night.
to accumulate a lot of this stuff that we're going to talk about. It might take. It's going to be hard to come right into Saturday morning, and I'm possibly be out of town, so we probably will move it to Sunday
Let's just
afternoon.
go ahead and say let's don't do no problem.
Yeah.
Let's,
Okay.
let's go ahead and let our viewers know we're
All
going
right.
to do it Sunday,
Sunday afternoon at 2:00.
2:00.
And
Oh,
we'll be
man.
here to talk
Okay.
about what happened throughout the county. And guys,
I want to mix
y'all have a
Shoot me a text if I'm not there. Shoot me a text and let us know about your players and
we want to
how
keep
it
up with.
went. Or we want to
We
keep
will.
up with you and
Give you some support online. There's a lot of people out there that's just looking around. They want to keep up with every county team. So
Oh, yes.
right.
we want to make sure we get you guys some love out there. And thank y'all for sitting down with us.
Mhm.
Thank you two guys for showing up
And
today.
I think
And
next week we're going to try to have a opposite view of high school football from the inside out.
yeah,
We may have an official or something. to
we
come
got a
in.
zebra coming.
Got one coming to talk to us a little bit about what they're looking for. And I want him to be sitting here because I'm going to tell him when I'm running the chains, if you're on my sideline, I'll tell you what to be looking for.
All righty.
And remind everybody about we got the coaches shows coming up too.
Yeah, we
Coach
got
Dryden, that'll
coaches
be
show.
we'll do that
Yeah,
Tuesday or
yeah.
Wednesday. We'll try to do that
And
live.
we need to get this guy right
Yeah.
here set up
Right.
too to
Well,
do
hey,
something.
The dude that poked in is supposed to be we need to get with Brother Dan.
That's
Yeah,
right.
To get on that.
Yep. Dan Reed, we're calling you out, buddy.
Calling you out, Dan.
All right, guys, thanks for sitting down again. Thanks for our sponsors, First Bank of Shelbyville, Hernandez Tree Service. These are 2 fine businesses here in Bedford County. Guys, support
Don't
these.
forget about the soap.
Oh, yeah, the soap. Duke Cannon.
It's a big bar
products.
soap.
That's a big bar of
That's
soap.
a man's soap right
That's
there.
right. All right. All right. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back next Sunday at 2:00 for another edition of Bedford County Sports.